this episode's main dish. Today we're going to be talking about before you start your Bible study. This is an article I just wrote for 5minutebiblestudy.com, posted it this week as I'm recording this episode, at least. This is actually something I wish I had written a long time ago, and I mentioned it on the first episode. I mentioned it again. I did write a book, How to Study Your Bible, which is kind of a beginner's guide. If you don't know where to start, here's some things you need to consider in order. And really, I wish I had made this the first chapter of that book. This is what you need to think about before you ever crack open a Bible. And who would have thought that starting your Bible study doesn't even start with the Bible? But I believe firmly that it doesn't. It starts with really thinking about what you're doing and how bad you want to do it. You know, it's not the raw power of will that leads you to success. You know, I can't just sit in a chair and tell myself over and over, yes, I want to do this thing. And eventually, that creates some power of will that leads to the success that I have set, my goals toward. No, it doesn't work that way. It's what the power of will that you create in your mind, it's what that leads you to do that actually spells the real success. And I'll give you an example. When I was failing nursing school again, I wanted a passing grade very badly. And I thought I wanted a passing grade badly the first two tests of the semester that I failed. And so then I had to ask myself after that, how badly do I really want that passing grade? Because at that point in time, I was almost ready to give up. But I wanted a 75, at least a 75 in that class so badly that I started making real sacrifice. I took pleasure. I took pleasure, really, and I threw it out the window. And I hated the rest of that year. I did. I hated that I couldn't have fun. I hated that I couldn't hang out with people. I couldn't just do what I wanted to do. I had to spend time in those books doing what I hated in order to get the success that I wanted in the end. Temporary discomfort for long-term pleasure and success, which was passing school in that case. But lying in my bed, just willing myself to succeed, was not what turned my semester around. It was when my power of will, and if you know anything about chemistry, that is potential energy. Potential energy is energy that's sitting there bottled up, ready to take on motion and action, but as long as it's not activated, it's just sitting there. It's potential, but it's not really accomplishing anything. When I took that power of will, that potential energy, and I converted it into actual sacrifice, that is kinetic energy. That energy then took on motion. It started working. So actual sacrifice, that's when I started to realize success. I didn't see the success right away. Of course, the first week, I started studying harder, and it would take another few weeks before I would get a chance to put that knowledge to test again and see, did I get any better? Did this extra time that I put into, the sacrifices that I make, did those pay off? And when I passed school finally and I got my degree, I know, because I heard it from people. Many people said it to me, Aaron, you're so smart. Aaron, you're so naturally gifted. And if you listen to them, it sounded as if that I didn't have to bust my rear end to get that piece of paper. What I knew that they didn't know, because they were just looking at the end product, was that no, Aaron was not smart. I mean, literally, I've not been just one of those people that is just naturally smart. All this knowledge comes to me. Before you start reading your Bible, don't ask, where should I start reading? Ask yourself, how bad do I really want this?